Today we're going to look at some of the items we've sold for a lot of money. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to look at some of the items we've sold for a lot of money. These are just random items that I've picked from the last few days. Interesting, unique, vintage always sells for us, and it sells for some good money. Now let's start off with some really nice looking postcards. These were purchased in a haul. They are in a video from months back. Something I've had for a little while. I paid $1 a piece for these. Now, why I bought them, it's Anita Parkhurst and it's Shakespeare. There's a whole set of these. There's 8 of these. They run for around $150 a set on average for these. So pretty much all the time I'm guaranteed to get about $20 to $25 back on each of these. If somebody needs to get one more to complete a set on these, they will spend a lot more money. It's like replacement parts from a board game or something like that, or buying the instructions if you're a video game collector so you can have a boxed version with the instructions. It's something along that line. People want to complete the set when they buy these. I got $1, so I don't care if they set for any length of time. With the amount of free listings eBay's giving out now, the ZIFs, there's an unlimited amount of space for a very reasonable price compared to what they used to charge for it. Another one from the same set. Again, these sell extremely well. I have no problem whatsoever sitting on these for a few weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months. They always sell, always. I never keep the Shakespearean ones in-house for very long. And another one. Now, one person bought them all. They have 3 other ones. They only need one more now to get a set. Know your customer base, know what sells, know why it sells. Things from the same series, same set are always highly sought after. And as I said, individual cards can go for higher than they would sell if it was sold in a lot. So I'll get more out of these sorts of cards than I would if I had the whole lot, if I can sell them individually. So it's a ploy on how you sell, how you market your items. Now here's a very interesting label, Dr. Van Dyke's Holland Bitters. Now most of the time bitters are like either quack medicine or a way to get around like prohibition. They'd market it as something it wasn't, and then people would use it to get drunk on, drink, and the whole works. So this is an interesting one. There's a monster on it. So that's why this one sold for some decent money. It would have been on a bottle, or this could be a advertisement like a sticker or something. Could even be a poster stamp, but it's fairly large for that. So my guess is this is a bottle label of sorts. Really interesting. Very happy with this one. Now, labels in general, we do extremely well. Most labels like this I can buy in bulk from auctions and stuff like that. Local estates that are collectors in advertising, these will show up as well. Auctions in general, I do extremely well with this sort of thing. So again, I've got pennies into most everything I'm showing you today. They do sell very well. This is an original. You can feel the ink on this. So this was engraved to some extent, or at least the man in the center was. Very interesting, very unique, very nice item. Now, another area I always grab stuff in is anything with China, related to China in general. We sold a whole bunch of Chinese photos just this past week. I've shown them in other videos, so I wasn't going to bring them back in today. But here's a postcard from Germany from around 1914, 1918. For a Chinese battle that happened with Germany. Now, I'm sure this is some sort of propaganda when they had stations and military bases and things in China when the area was just opening up. But this one sold very well. $1 into this or less, as I usually do. I bought a bunch of these in a huge assortment at an auction. Huge stack of them. So I've got pennies into each one. But we just put them up, let them sit, and then off they go. We sell these all the time for decent money. We've had them up for a little while, as I said. It's a continual seller. It's passive income, pretty much everything I'm showing you. I just put it up and I leave it and forget about it. If the right person comes along, they're going to buy it, and then off it is. Now, I talk about bookmarks all the time. Here's a composer, Richard Wagner. Very interesting, very nice piece. It's advertising Smith & Barnes pianos from Chicago. Really nice one here. I love vintage bookmarks. Usually I can get them for $1 or less, pretty much any type. Celluloid sells extremely well. If you want to see something interesting, type in celluloid bookmark or celluloid card in general on eBay, and you will find some going for some insane amounts of money. Now, size doesn't matter in stuff like this. This is a tiny card or poster stamp or advertisement of some sort. It's small. That's the key to this. And it is an advertising piece by the way it looks. Now, it doesn't look like this was hand cut out. This was stamped in a machine. The edges, the corners, everything is well too crisp to be otherwise. And it is engraved because you can feel the ink on this. So just a very nice piece for the Davis vertical feed sewing machine. They made a ton of different items. This is one of the harder ones to get that I have seen. Now, stereo views I do love, and you saw this as well as the next few in a purchase. I paid $1 a piece, I do believe, for all of these. These are early 1870s Mackinac Island, which is in Michigan. It's out in the lake, actually. And what's famous about Mackinac Island is the Grand Hotel there. They filmed the movie Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeves. I've been to this place many, many times as a child. Very neat, very unique. Something that you do in the summertime usually to get away or something locally here. These do extremely well. Again, I got like $1 into each one of these. One person came by and bought a bunch of these, as you see here. Now, these are all tied to Mackinac Island, all from the same photographer, all from the same series. Now, we always grab up cards or anything from the same series if we know a few of them are good. Because even if the other ones aren't great, when someone's buying a couple other ones, they may just snap up the others as well. So I sold every one of these that we got in. Another one right here. Another one right here. And also purchased at the same time as this small cabinet card, also from Mackinac Island, also from P.B. Green, which is the photographer in here. This is a very nice image here, something I just don't run across. Now, the backs on all of these actually had a breakdown of images, so if you didn't know which one it was, you could track it down in the back by these. Most of the time, they make a mark or check off the image that's on the front, because many times these sorts of images may not say the exact scene that you're looking at. So just one FYI for those who aren't up on this sort of area. Now, postage stamps I do extremely well with all the time. Now, this lot here came from some sheets that I purchased in multiple colors. And what I did is I separated them. So I have one stamp with 4 varieties, and these sell far better for us than if I would have just sold the sheets as they were or sold them in blocks or otherwise. We've sold dozens and dozens of these just this way. This one sells extremely well. Cost-wise into this lot here, I may have 50 cents into them at best. So again, we've sold probably 30 or 40 sets of these sorts for different buildings, all from the St. Louis World's Fair from 1904. These would be called Cinderella's fantasy pieces because they're not really meant for postage at all. They're basically advertisements for the World's Fair. Now, toys I do love. This is a Playmobil Ghost. Halloween's coming up. It's a harder to find character for the most part. It's vintage from 1974. It does go with the newer ones as well. So most Playmobil I will nab up pretty much any of the time, especially if they're in the box. If it's an older set in the box or some of the Victorian houses or anything like that for Playmobil, they go for some good money. Even the little parts and pieces you can sell individually from these sorts of things. So nice piece. I've got like a quarter into it. I bought a big lot. I separated the ones that should sell separately. I sold those separately and then sold everything else that wasn't worth listing on its own in one big lot, and it's gone. And this is just a mixed lot of various different Marks items. There's some tin stuff. This was bought in a big lot. I have just a few bucks into this entire thing here. Now the figures, the fence pieces, I can pick those up for like a quarter a piece. 4 items for $1 in bins, and this is what we do with them. We'll put them together in lots of various items like this, just throw them together, anything that wouldn't sell separately, and then again, that's what we do with these. Now again, just like any other area we do, the items we can't sell individually will just be thrown in lots like this, and we'll blow them out. Not really blow them out, but they'll sell fairly well at those prices. Now, 78 records I do a lot with. This was a quarter a piece in these. Now, these are from a mail-away club that you would have to send away for. Record O Mail Company, and they would send you music on a disc like this. It would just be compilations, basically, of various artists. There are 3 discs in this lot. I got about $1, as I said, into the purchase. They sell fairly well. Plus, the buyer always pays shipping. Again, we sold the ones that we bought from this purchase here individually that we could. The rest went up in lots with like genre. So Latin, jazz, mambos all went together. Salsas went in another one, and such forth. Labels, as I said, I do extremely well with. One area that a lot of people just pass by are alcohol, liquor, and wine bottle labels. Now, these can go very, very high if you look them up. These do sell routinely for us, and I've got thousands and thousands of these in inventory, and we list them by genre or type of alcohol. This is a wine label. This is from a specific area. Again, you put like by like items together, so I'll put all from a certain region up at the same time, or the same type of substance will go up all together. So all wine from the Rhine area of Germany, all those type of labels go up together. These are something that you can find if you look. A lot of people saved beer labels, wine labels, whiskey labels, just like they saved like a Jack Daniels bottle. Jack Daniels labels sell for us all the time too. I've showed you many of those. This isn't a much earlier one here. This one probably dates to about 1890. Now, lastly, we sell Christmas all year round without issue. Never have a problem selling Christmas items. In the last several weeks, we sold dozens and dozens and dozens of these sorts of Christmas items. Now, people buy these now. You can't wait till Christmas time to sell these things. People will do graphics, artwork, all sorts of things with these when they buy them from us. A lot of the people are designers and other artists who buy these as well, and they will do all sorts of things with these. I show some of this in my Patreon videos as well. These are public domain items clearly. Here's just another example. Now, we sell multiples to the same person all the time, but for Christmas stuff, there are so many buyers out there right this very second that are buying Christmas items that we can't keep them on the shelf. And here's another one. Again, these go extremely well. I never have a problem. I never worry about what time of year it is when I'm listing Christmas, Halloween, Easter, Valentine's Day. All of those holidays go all year round pretty much. And another one. Here's a purple coat Santa Claus with, I guess, a pony pulling it. These would be old world from probably different countries, the stylized that I see. Some German, some not. Most of these could have been printed in Dresden, Germany as well. They sell extremely well. I've sold dozens of these. I could do a video just on vintage Christmas that we've sold in the last little while. Now here's another interesting, very bright, very unique piece. This was folded inward with the graphics on the inside. So all you could see when we found this was the back advertisement on here. It was stuffed in an envelope with a letter stamp and the whole works. I look in everything like that. You never know what's going to turn up inside of an envelope. Correspondence. We find other photos. I found some awesome real photo, real picture postcards stuffed in envelopes before as well. I always check them out. If they're cheap enough, I just buy big bulk lots of envelopes and stuff with stamps and things like that. Now, I knew instantly when I turned this over what this is. This is from the Spanish-American War. It would date this to around 1898-ish, and it's advertising soap, and it shows Battleship Maine on the front of this with the U.S. flag, has the correct amount of stars and the whole works from that time frame. Excellent piece. These do sell extremely well. It's been up for a little while. These sorts of graphics, these eye-appealing pieces are what I look for. It doesn't even necessarily matter in some cases what the advertisement's for, as long as it's graphically appealing. Artists will buy this as well. Again, this is public domain right this second. It was printed before 1900. So if you want to hear more about public domain, I do have several videos in my Patreon page, which there is a link to down below. But that's what I have for you today. Well, there you are. Hopefully that gave you some ideas and some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
Cobra's really tough, you know. And Cobra's up to something that's a G.I. Joe.
Cobra! Cobra blew up the bridge. Bridge layer to the rescue. The obstacle will catch us.
Introducing the new Joe's Barbecue and Shipwreck.
We're gonna start Cobra this time.
G.I. Joe.
After him. Joe, Joe.
G.I. Joe Bridge Layer comes with driver, or Striker comes with driver. Other figures and equipment sold separately from Hasbro.